Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Ivan here, and I got a new deck profile for you. Just heads up, I am missing one card. It's just taking forever to come in the mail, and it's extra deck card, so I didn't want it to, just be holding this off until that came, even though there's no rush right now since there's nothing really going on Yu-Gi-Oh wise. The latest set is about to come out, Rise of Duelists. I bought a booster box. If you haven't seen that yet, don't forget to look at that video. Got some pretty decent pulls, and this is the deck. Nothing really got added to it with the new set, but I just think that this deck is going to be pretty decent rogue choice going forward, just because it's able to easily OTK, and it's able to, now it has first turn plays, and that deck is Madolche. I finally was able to pick up a lot of these cards. Some of them were kind of expensive, but I decided, since quarantine's going on, I'm not spending a lot of money going out and doing stuff, decided to just splurge a little bit and get something that I thought that would keep up value wise, because a lot of these cards are like not super expensive, but if you buy like 2 or 3 copies of them, it does get expensive. In total, this deck probably cost me like 150 bucks, which isn't too bad because I had a bunch of stuff already, but the stuff that I was missing I needed to buy. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get into the deck profile because I've kind of been talking already too much. 3 Madolche. First of all, I also want to say that I'm really happy I bought these sleeves, the Dragon Shields Black Matte, and I was recommended these by the guy that works at my locals, a really cool guy. But I was like $6.99 for a pack of sleeves, like you can see right here. I was like, that seems kind of expensive, but they're really cool, they're really smooth. I've already been kind of using them. I've been practicing against my brother, because my brother doesn't play, but he will play against me if just testing the decks that I have. But I kind of have to show him how to play because he doesn't really know like the whole link mechanics and all that stuff. But yeah, Dragon Steel sleeves are the shit. So 3 Madolche, of course, 3 Angeli. This card just got a reprint. Now it's secret rare. It looks freaking beautiful. 3 Petting Cesar. This card you'll probably see it more like in Not Emancipators, because this card's just super broken. It's able to special summon itself for free, and its effect is not once a turn when you special summon it from your hand. Or it is once a turn, but each effect is just once a turn. So if you don't special summon it by its own effect, like you special summon it from Angela, you can still special summon it from your hand with its own effect. Really hope that this card gets a rarity upgrade in the next Megatins. Then 2 Hoot Cakes. I only like playing 2 because if you play 3, you're gonna draw at least one of them, and you almost never want to draw this card. You can get this card to the field with so many ways. With Chocolate a la Mode, you can get it with your Angeli, you can get it with Petting Cesar. There's just no reason to play 3 because it's just so searchable, and it is kind of a brick. Then 2 Messagelato. Messagelato, when it's special summoned, when you control a Beast Madolche, lets you search for any Madolche spell or trap. And what's also important about this, it's level 4, so you can help make your tiramisu. But you only want to play 2 because you want these in deck, because like Hoot Cake, you're going to be special summoning it with the effect of Hoot Cake, with the effect of Chocolate Mode, with the effect of Ticket. So you're never going to want to have those in your hand. Then I am playing 1 Mufile, just for the combo. Like if you draw these 2 together, it's just the OTK with these 2 cards. Even though now kind of Angeli by itself is OTK and most times, but I just like Mufile a lot. It adds like a cool play to the deck. I don't really see too many people playing it, and I just really like it. And then the 1 Pudding Cess. Pudding Cess is probably like the best card in the deck because it just lets you do so much cool stuff with your Chocolate Mode. But it just sucks drawing this, and that's why I decided to get a common version, even though this is the cheapest one. I also didn't want to get like the ultra version and be drawing it all the time, because I just have that luck with holographic cards. Then for your non-Madolche cards, 2 Gamma Seal. Gamma Seal's really good in this deck, just for getting rid of problematic monsters, like stuff that negates pretty much. Stuff like Warlord Savage Dragon, Appaloosa, you can just tribute over it, and then you spin away Gamma Seal. So didn't want to play the Spear mode because that doesn't let you normal summon. So you need to do this first though, because as soon as you do Princessor's effect, you're not going to be able to summon anything except for Madolche monsters. So Gamma Seal, you want to do it like pretty much first turn. I'm not going to play 3 because I think 3 is just breaky. Then for hand traps, this is something that I stole from a guy that did pretty well with the Madolche deck a while ago. 3 Herald of the Orange Light. I actually bought these for agents because I had an agent deck profile. But this card's really good because you can discard a fairy monster in your hand, which Angeli's a fairy, Penacessor is a fairy, and Puddingcess is a fairy. So there's 7 fairies that you play in your deck that you can play, but the kind of the thing that I don't really like about this card is that it puts monsters in your graveyard, and if you have like your Penacessor, then you can't use its effect anymore because you have monsters in your graveyard. But this card's just too powerful because it not only negates, it destroys. Then I'm also playing the Gamma and the One Driver. This cards are really good, especially now that like the Numeron deck is running around. This is a way to stop the F-Zero, whatever it's called. I forgot the name of it. But this card's also just really good because like when you tribute with your Angeli, you technically don't control any monsters. So if they try to Ash your Angeli, you can use Saffron Gamma, and that's just going to give you a free Omega, which is really good. Then that's it for the monsters. For the spells, I'm playing 3 Madolche Salon. This card's just too good, I think, not to play at 3. Because, yeah, it is searchable. But this is probably the one that you don't want to search. You want to just draw it. Because this one lets you search all the other ones. If you don't know what this card does, whenever a Madolche monster is shuffled back into your deck or added to your hand from the graveyard, you can set any Madolche spell or trap from your deck. And then it also lets you do an additional normal summon. So it's basically a double summon from Madolche. So this is how you can kind of play around hand traps now if you just have like a really good hand. So this card's just super good. And I think drawing it is the most optimal way to play. Yeah, you can search it, but I just think it's like drawing it just way better. Then 2 Madolche Chateau. Chateau is really good. It gives all your monsters 500 more attack. Whenever you play it, you shuffle back all your Madolches from the graveyard, so you can also combo off use doing that. And whenever your Madolche monsters will be shuffled back into the deck, if you control Chateau, you can add them back to your hand instead. So that kind of makes it to where like your board will almost never be destroyed. You can just set up the same board over and over, and that's what like this deck pretty much does really well. Then 2 Madolche Ticket. This is kind of like your Rhoda, but it is a lot slower because it has to have a Madolche card being shuffled back into the deck or added back into your hand. And then if you control a Madolche fairy monster, you can choose to special summon that card instead. So there's a lot of times where you'll be special summoning Messagelato from your deck using this, and you'll already control another Messagelato, and it just goes off from there. Then 3 Called by the Grave, because you want to stop those annoying hand traps. Even though this deck does lose to Nibiru, because Nibiru is just really good against most decks nowadays, and almost everybody's playing it now. 2 Cosmic Cyclone to get rid of back rows. Altergeist are really popular again. Guru's popular again. Freaking the Numeron deck. Sorry, I think there's like a smudge or something on my camera. Numeron, that Eldritch deck is really good. 1 Instant Fusion for the Millennium Ice. You can stop 1 monster effect, and it does come up a lot. So I decided to just add it in because you have the extra deck space. I'm not playing Pot of Extravagance because I think just it's too expensive. And then if it does get reprinted in the Megatins, I'll end up kind of regretting it because it's like a $40 card, and I would want to play at least 2. So that's $80 I would be investing, and especially with no tournaments going on right now, I just can't justify myself paying that much for 1 card. And for the traps, 2 Madolche Promenade. This card is just so good. Sometimes I wish I could play 3, but that's just so breaky because this card most of the time you just want to loop it so you can shuffle it back into your deck with Tiramisu, or you can search it out with Salon, which is just the best thing you can do. This card basically, you can negate any card on your opponent's side of the field that's face up. If you shuffle back a Madolche from either your graveyard, or you add it back to your hand, I'm sorry, from either your graveyard or your field. So there's just a bunch of plays that can help you do this. Then also has a secondary effect that randomly comes up. You can shuffle a Madolche. You could add a Madolche from your graveyard or from your deck as material to a Madolche Exceed monster. So if your pudding cess has already been used in grave, or you discarded it with Herald or something like that, you can attach it to your tiramisu or your glass fillet. And then for the last trap, I'm playing the Gravedigger's Trap Hole because I'm playing the Trap Tricks Marmello, and you can make it pretty easily with a certain hand that you draw. That's the one card I'm missing, is the Trap Tricks Marmello. So yeah, then for the extra deck, a lot of Madolche cards. 2 Madolche Fresh Sistart. I wish this card would have came hollow because it just looks freaking common as hell. It looks ugly because a lot of the deck is shiny and this is not. This card's pretty decent because there's a lot of times where you don't have like the target engraved for tiramisu, so you can get it engraved by using them as link material because they don't get shuffled back into the deck if you use them as link material. And then it also has a cool effect that protects your face-up spells and traps that are Madolche cards. And if it would ever be destroyed on the field, you can shuffle back a Madolche monster from your graveyard back into your deck, or a Dolce card period. I mean, shuffle it back into your deck, and then it gives you protection like that. So this card can get kind of annoying if they don't have like a way to banish it or something like that. Then 3 Tiramisu, the ugly gold rare version, because I think this one's like the better looking one than the common, and I didn't want to spend all the money on the ultra, but I did get two German ones and 1 regular English one. You can just tell, like, I've never noticed, I've never been like one of those rarity hoard type people, but you can just notice how much like crappier our cards are when you put it to like a European card. But this card's just the best card in the deck. It's freaking crazy. It doesn't target. It lets you shuffle back stuff into the grave. So if they have graveyard effects, too bad. And it becomes 2700 with the field spell, so it's freaking great. And this is another good card that we now play 3. Glass Fillet. This card, you detach a material, and you can make any Madolche monster unaffected by monster effects for the rest of that turn. And then whenever a Madolche monster is sent to the graveyard, doesn't matter as link material, doesn't matter if you detach, you can target up to 2 cards in either player's graveyard and shuffle them back into the deck. So it's kind of like a DD Crow, but a little bit better. Because DD Crow, even if they banish it, sometimes they get the effect, like with Thunder Dragons and like stuff like that. Or the Giant Rex, which I hate playing against dinosaurs now because this deck doesn't have a good dinosaur matchup. But this card's really good. Then 3 Chocolate Mode. I was only playing 2 before, but there was just so many times where I didn't want to shuffle one back, or they're playing like the stupid what's the new Dogmatica card, the one that lets you eat it away from your extra deck, and then or they're playing the Lithogasm, and there was just times where I would just need a third one. It just randomly, you have the space because Pudding Cessor locks you into Madolches for the rest of the turn after you use its effect, so you pretty much can just play all the Madolche cards at 3 because there's nothing else you can really do. The Millenniumizer Strict for the instant fusion, Sideframe Lord Omega for the Gamma and the Driver. You almost never make it. This is also cool, like when you're playing against the Dogmatica deck, you can send this. And then 1 Levier the Sea Dragon. This is like from the old combo from back in the day that you used to do. And then the 15th card is Trap Trick Rafflesia, which mine hasn't come in yet, so I don't have it yet, but I do have one coming in. Hopefully it'll be in pretty soon, even though we don't have tournaments or anything to play, so there's no rush. Then I do have a side deck that I play online. I just decided to, you know, just show it off. 3 Nibiru, because this card's good because it doesn't add anything to your graveyard. So if you just have the token and then you have your Nibiru on your side of the field, you just switch this to attack mode, and then you can shuffle all their stuff back. It's just a really good card. Dino Wrestler Pankratrops. This card's just so good at outing so many cards. I wasn't playing this before, but I just decided this is just really good. The 3rd Gamma Seal, and the 1 Spear Mode. I only have 1 Spear Mode, that's why I'm only playing 1. If I had another one, I would probably play the 2nd one instead of the Gamma Seal. Then 3 Dark Ruler no more, because you can just blank their field and just shuffle everything away. The 3rd Cosmic Cyclone, Red Reboot. This card just wins you the game, and there's a reason it's at 1. Then if they ever make me go first, I'm playing the Artifact Engine. Just really good, and you can shuffle your Scythe back into your deck with Glass Souffle, which is a pretty, like, it doesn't ever really happen, but you can do it. So yeah, guys, that's it for the deck profile. Let me know what you guys think. I know it's nothing too crazy. It's just freaking basic Madolches. But I really like the deck a lot. I think it has a lot of potential, this format. Even though it does kind of lose to like 2 hand traps, which a lot of the decks nowadays can just play through. But I still think this deck has a lot of potential. And who knows, maybe we might get support in the future. So till next time, this is your boy Ivan. I'll see you guys later.